Okay, welcome back. In this chapter, we're going to have a look at the Duotone Effect. This is where we use two tones of the same color with a photo. You can achieve this actually in Squarespace, where you can change the saturation right down to a black and white photo, and then you can use multiple filters. So there's a couple of blue tones on there that you can convert those banner images just to have black and white image with then the blue tone overlaying on top of it. It's a little bit long-winded, and this is far, far better. And because this particular mini course and module is dedicated towards utilizing Canva and Squarespace simultaneously, that's the approach we're going to take. So I'm going to create a new graphic this time instead of the existing one. And I'm going to create the custom size. So if we go with, say, for example, a 3:2 ratio, so that would be 600 by 400 pixels. If you're going to need those images to be bigger, of course, you can then just scale up, locking the ratio. But we've essentially just doubled 300 by 200, which will be too small in this case. 600 by 400 should be fine. What we'll find is we're trying to create 3 or 4 panels across the page. By going with 600 by 400, it's a nice size to fit across without any pixelation or distortion on the image, or the other way around, having an image that's so large that it's, even through Squarespace's own image resizing and compression tools, it still might be loading an image size that's larger than it needs to be. So we just need to try and find that balance. A little bit of trial and error can work well for that. So again, I'm going to look at more motocross images. And this time I'm going to try and find a few different examples. So maybe we look at a closer in shot here. Just click and drag the image so it fills the frame. And there we go. So we've now got image 1. I can now add a new page for the second. And I'll put this one as well. I'm deliberately trying to find 3 photos that are quite different. Some much closer in, further away, silhouette style here, just to show you how this can evolve once we've added in our duotone effect. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3 images that will be tiled across on this page. And now we can start applying the duotone effect. So I click on the image 1. I can now go to edit image, and we've got a series of stylistic options. And we can see here that duotone is available and works really nicely. So let's maybe have a look at the peppermint option to start with. And that's essentially it. We pick an effect and we apply it. Now, one thing we can look back at this one and say, will actually that peppermint duotone effect really work, or are we going to go with more oranges, reds to bring out that kind of the danger element of motocross? High energy. And I think that's what we'll do. We need to go with one light color. So instantly with these default color swatches, that makes quite a difference. And then the second one, then we could go with black. So we've already got a very different look and feel. This is such a quick, handy effect that it's really, really good for creating image styles, and you can do these in bulk and then upload them all at the same time. So I might just tweak this red color. I want it to be slightly more towards the oranges without being completely orange. So I'm just tweaking that a little bit. And I'm just manually moving it around. Now, if we go down the manual route where we're changing it, We just need to remember those colors that we've chosen. The other one is easy enough, that's black, but I'm just going to save that red color option there. And now we can apply it. So again, edit image, duotone effect. Not really worried about the colors I'm selecting because we're going to change this in a second. Change the shadows to black. And then the highlights. We're going to paste that color that we saved to our clipboard. I could change the intensity, especially if we wanted to bring in a little bit of the color coming through. But what we're looking to do here is to keep a consistent theme through all three photos. So again, with that third option, we select a duotone effect and then change the colors, pasting in the custom red that we chose. So there we go. We've got 3 duotone images ready to download individually and upload to our website. So I click download once again. And here we're probably still going with JPEG because there's so much detail in there. Even though we're looking at limited number of colors, there's different gradient, different versions of that tone, and enough to save it as a JPEG over a PNG file. We're going to leave it at the default 600 by 400, although we could bump it up here if we wanted to. And then I'm going to select page 1, download that first. Same then with page 2. So this time, just select that one instead. When you save in multiple photos, I usually use it as a rule of 3. If it's 3, I'll just download them individually. I find it a little bit quicker. If you're looking at 4 or more, that's where you're probably better off saving them as a zip file by selecting all images and then just extracting them on your computer. Okay, so we've got our 3 photos downloaded. I can now jump over to Squarespace, click Edit. We're going to add a new section for this. And we're going to put this in as a blank section. Here I might just see what color options I've got with this template. I might go with the gray just to see how that works. I'm going to reduce the height to small. And now I'm going to add in 3 columns for our images. So line 1, 2, 3. So we use this line as a scaffolding effect. We click and drag the 3 lines. So we've got 3 equal columns, at which point now we can add in an image block underneath each. And here we upload the image from our computer. Select image 1. Same with image 2. Because they've all been saved as 6:4 ratio, we don't need to do any cropping or editing on Squarespace, which is nice. Now actually on this size screen, the images have been scaled up a little bit. That's why they're a little bit fuzzy. So we could go back into Canva and then resize that. But I'm not going to do it in this case. I'll show you how else we can work around this if we're not working with high resolution images. Okay. Now the images are in place, they're going to hold their width and their structure on the 12 column grid. So now we can just remove those lines. We could then put a title in for each. So you can either add a caption underneath the image, or you can add in a text block below in that same column. Just put a title in for each. And I might at the same time change it to, say, heading 3. Okay, so now we have our 3-column grid. I might change the width to medium, meaning that we're not losing any quality on the images. As I said, the other option is you go back into Canva and then create them as larger files. I think my final option will be to go back to either a black and white background or indeed add an image for the background of this entire section. So we could add an image and choose a free stock photo. See what free images we've got available. What I'm after is this type of texture here that we can just put in the background. So we need a photo that's large enough. I'll just try this one first. So once again, we could use Duotone Effect for the background image as well. But I'm just going to show you how we can do it in Squarespace directly to save us a bit of time. So that's making it look more interesting, but we need to make sure we bump up that overlay so we're just getting texture through without it taking away from the images themselves. Could then go in and edit the photo if I wanted to. And this is the built-in Squarespace editor that allows us then to, for example, just take that section so we just have a muddy background. And that would simplify it considerably. So we've got a mud background effect. I could jump in and edit it a step further and actually go to take out the entire saturation. Maybe also bump up the contrast so we have a sharper effect in the background. Make the shadows darker, make the highlights more intense. And that could work really nicely with a dark overlay. And there we go. So I'm going to save it and show you this effect then. I like banding effects where we have a nice divide between, say, for example, this hero unit area. Then we have the texture behind there. Then we go into another photo, which seamlessly blends into the text area below. We'd need to pair up this type of content and this type, but yeah, that's how we can use Duotone effects to get a consistent style through the website. This is quite a stark effect where we've got just a very strong red and black, but you can really play around with settings. You can also apply a degree of a duotone effect if you wanted to keep some of the other colors in each photo. Have a play around with it and enjoy.